Great pleasure to announce the construction of 2 fast electric ferries and associated wharf infrastructure will be bought by EV Maritime and McMullen and Wing and operated by Auckland Transport for use across all major inner and mid-harbour services here. The ferries will have a 200-person capacity, spaces for bikes and a top speed of 25 knots. So yes, on par with today's diesel ferries and with a range of 40 kilometres. But once built, they'll be trialled for a year to gain a better understanding of the feasibilities and costs associated with operating electric ferries, and if successful, will then form part of the permanent fleet of ferries operating in Auckland. And it won't surprise you to learn that these ferries promise to reduce greenhouse gas emissions compared to diesel boats, with each one displacing approximately 1,000 tonnes of emissions annually.
You know, this is going to be the issue, the greatest challenge for our future. So today is another great step towards leaving a legacy for our kids that we can be proud of, not a legacy that we will leave office being ashamed of.
The government's hoping to cut Auckland's transport emissions by funding new ferries for harbour crossings. Minister Megan Woods has announced 2 new fully electric powered ferries are set to hit the water in 2024. She says the Auckland ferries will act as a trial before electric ferries are rolled out nationwide.
The research that comes out of this and the broader understanding of how electric ferries operate in New Zealand is just as important to us as a government as it is here in Auckland of getting these boats on the harbour.
Ferries contribute to 20% of Auckland's transport emissions. These boats are in addition to Fuller's already announced hybrid ferry, expected on the water by late next year.
$27 million of government funding is going towards 2 electric ferries for Auckland. For more details, let's cross now to Yvonne Tahana at the downtown ferry terminal. Officials say this is going to be cleaner and greener, Yvonne.
Well, that's right. Kia ora, Wendy. Well, 27 million will go towards paying the construction costs of 2 200-seater ferries, 2 new ferries. And both the Energy Minister and Auckland's Mayor Phil Goth setting out why this was needed. All of our ferries in the fleet are diesel, and they say that they account for 20% of Auckland's public transport emissions, 20%. And they say that scuttling just one ferry will mean that 1,000 tonnes of carbon will be saved. Now, Auckland Transport is set to own these new ferries, and they're set to be on the waters of the Waitemata by 2024.
And Yvonne, how about the major ferry operator Fuller's?
Well, Fuller's actually pitched to the government in 2020 for taxpayer funding. They said electrification at that time could save the city $200 million. Nevertheless, their own hybrid model is set to be launched in 2023. But there are still a number of unknowns for the public, including who will run the 2 electric ferries. That is still to be negotiated and very much a live issue. Also, what effect electrification will have on pricing. Now, the cost of fares have long been a bugbear for Auckland commuters. When I asked the Minister, Megan Woods, I asked her, look, if commuters are not paying those fuel costs, those diesel costs, will costs come down? And she said that would be her expectation. When I asked Auckland Transport this afternoon, they simply said that there's never been a more affordable time to catch a ferry. Wendy.
Kia ora. Thanks, Yvonne. Yvonne Tahana on Auckland's waterfront.